G'day and welcome to Tasmanian Bus Journeys. Today we're doing a very special video indeed. It's the top 20 Tasmanian towns. This is part one. We're going to go through towns 20 to 11. As I travel around Tasmania doing Tasmanian Bus Journeys YouTubes, people often ask me, Pete, what are your favourite top 20 towns? And I say, I don't know. But we've thought about this a little bit more, and with the help of team members Kit here at the Tasmanian Bus Journeys YouTube channel, we've come up with some ideas. These are our own ideas, so don't get crabby if your town doesn't make the top 10. It's all good. We've got together and we've devised a list rating towns from 20 to 1. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the benefits of visiting those towns, some disadvantages as well. I'll tell you a little bit about how to get there by bus, but not too much. We'll go through every single town. So today's volume, the first volume, is towns 20 to 11. Sit back and enjoy. Let's set out our parameters. Okay, the towns are not included. Obviously, when a town is a city, and have urban type bus timetables when buses are running every hour or half an hour. And these are basically our big cities: Hobart, Launceston, Devonport and Burnie. Now, then we look at towns that are not on a regular bus route. And these we have a few: Bothwell, Ilona, Whitemark and Curry. The latter three are all on islands and don't have bus access. A few towns we have not visited. Sorry about that. Newbina, Zeehan, Roseby, Waratah. So we need to go and visit those towns. Let's get on with it. Our top 20 begins. Number 20 is Strahan. On our lovely west coast. Strahan is near Macquarie Harbour there. Now, bus services, you can get them from Burnie. There's a daily service to Strahan. There are also additional bus services from Queenstown to Strahan, extra daily service on most days. 180 kilometres from Burnie. Strahan has a population of 700. Now, we don't have any video footage of Strahan, but Strahan is always a gateway to other services. It's got some lovely accommodation, lovely places to eat. It's really rustic, some of the places you go there. It's really wet in Strahan. That can be a real disadvantage. But yeah, it's the place where you go to access other features such as the Gordon River cruise. It's got a lovely harbour, and that cruise itself is really worthwhile. The town is pleasant to stay at, quite a few options, but I always find it a little bit too small. So one of the things that we do have a bit of video of is the Queenstown to Strahan Wilderness Railway. When this YouTube was published, wasn't actually operating all the way to Strahan, but the plans will be that it will continue through to Strahan. Now you can get an idea of some of the lovely landscape. There's the Gordon River. So the whole area is really worthwhile visiting. So yes, that's our number 20 is Strahan. Now moving right across Tasmania is number 19, St Helens. You can get to St Helens in a number of different ways. The easiest way is from Launceston. The bus service there goes daily. There's a second service on school days as well. You can also go from Coles Bay to St Helens. That's very popular, and that service operates usually via St Mary's. And finally, you can also get the bus from Hobart to St Helens, but if you're doing that, it requires a transfer of services at Epping Forest. St Helens is 160 kilometres from Launceston, and it's got a population, quite a big place of 1,600 people. It's pretty well set up for visitors. It's got great shops which cater for every need. It's got really good RSL, for example. It's got a great bakery. I really like it. A wonderful maritime museum as well. It's really worthwhile having a look. It tends to be just a little bit busy, St Helens. There's lots of traffic movement around there, but you can remedy that pretty well by heading straight down to the foreshore and just relaxing immediately outside of St Helens. And like most places in Tassie, St Helens is a gateway to other experiences, and it's very close to the Bay of Fires, worth a visit. Yes, St Helens foreshore. Peaceful and calm. Marina in the background. Number 19, St Helens. Now, moving right up to the north of the state, the Tamar Valley, and it's number 18, Beaconsfield. Situated on the West Tamar, just north of Launceston, pretty close to Bass Strait. Bus services depart from Launceston, travel roughly every 2 hours to Beaconsfield. On weekends there are fewer services, 3 services a day to Beaconsfield. 40 kilometres from Launceston, it has a population of 1,100 people. Now, the main thing about Beaconsfield, which is absolutely sensational, is its mining heritage. And everyone remembers we go back to 2006 when we had the Beaconsfield mine disaster. Well, that's all been preserved there in a wonderful museum, and that in itself is worthwhile going to Beaconsfield to visit. There are some good specialty shops selling minerals, for example. And through the trees we can see the Miners Gold Brewery, one of my favourites. Great historic building. Again, with some of these towns just a little bit lacking diversity and services, but it's great for a day trip. Number 18, Beaconsfield. Now back to the east coast. Number 17, it's Swansea. So south of St Helens we have Swansea. It's equidistant from Launceston and Hobart, but the bus services come on a daily basis from Hobart to Swansea. On school days there is an additional service. There's also services from Bicheno to Swansea. So Swansea, it's about 150 kilometres from Hobart, 140 from Launceston, but it has a population of about 1,000 people. Now I like Swansea because it's got a real nice blend of history, plus then you got the coastal panorama there. It's got a lot of good services, but it's a place where I just like staying the night, kicking back and relaxing. You can see the very old Morris General Store there, and it's fully operational now. Lots of old buildings, and these buildings are really quite well maintained. What the feature of the place is, yes, it's the coastal strip, and you can get your views all the way to Freycinet. We are at Swansea, a great bus destination, and I'm here right out on the middle of a pier, and I'm going to just do a 360 degree of Swansea. You can't miss going to Tasmania's east coast. It's got great beaches, but what I really like about it is the views. It's got really nice views. Number 17, Swansea. Now moving to the northeast, and we have number 16, Derby. In Tassie's northeast, another wet area of the state, it has a very good bus service from Launceston. It goes there every day of the year, and it goes through a lot of other towns. That's Derby. Now, Derby's got a fairly small population in its own right. It's about 97 kilometres from Launceston, but the bus route is a lot longer. Now, it's an internationally renowned cycling centre, a premier destination for mountain biking in Australia, and I guess that's it's got a lot of shops, cycling shops, a lot of other boutique places to eat and stay. So it's specialist, and it tends to be a little bit expensive. But the thing I really like about Derby is its history. It used to be a tin mining town, and that history is absolutely wonderful to explore. The buildings themselves are worthwhile exploring. So just avoid the bikes and have a good look around the town when you got time to do it. There you can see the beautiful town hall. It's number 16, Derby. Now it's back to the east coast. Yes, it's number 15. It's Bicheno. Another east coast town. Oh geez, they keep on coming up. This one is south of St Helens and north of Swansea. The best service is Hobart to Bicheno. It runs every day of the year, and also alternative services are available from Launceston and St Helens to Bicheno. These often require a change of services in St Mary's. You can also get the bus between Coles Bay and Bicheno. So you can see there's just so many options of getting a bus to Bicheno. Bicheno is a little bit isolated. It's about 170 kilometres from Launceston, 180 from Hobart, and the population of 1,100 people. Bicheno has got some of the most sensational scenery available in terms of coastal scenery. There's great walks, there's lots of lovely seafood to be had, there's wonderful little penguins going around everywhere. It's good, it's got that wonderful fishing town roots, it's got a gorgeous beach and it's absolutely sensational. And there you go. You've got a lovely view of the beach along there. This is what Bicheno is all about. Delightful, away from the strip of eating, basically a couple of 100 metres from the bus stop. So yeah, pretty damn awesome. Lots of accommodation. So what is there not to like about it? Well, in some ways, its great commercial success with visitors to Tasmania has meant it's lost some of its original character. But anyway, number 15 is Bicheno. Now, moving right on to the north again, it's number 14, Sheffield. On the northwest coast's hinterland, it's Sheffield. And there is 3 bus services a day that go to Sheffield every day. They go from Devonport there. Now, it's very close to Devonport, about 26 kilometres from Devonport, easy to get to. And Sheffield's a big place, population 1,600 people, and boy, has it got some beautiful historic buildings to have a look at. It creates a lot of peace for me, Sheffield, but it's also got this fantastic artistic vibe amongst some of the shops there. Now there we can see nestled Mount Roland, not that far away, and Sheffield, a gateway to Cradle Mountain. Now one of the wonderful things about Sheffield is its marvellous collection of murals. There's so many all through the town. It's like a living art gallery. It's absolutely amazing and beyond belief. And I can spend the whole day just looking at them. But back to the history, so much of it, Sheffield Steam and Heritage Centre. These old stations, which are well preserved in many instances, are really interesting to look at, and you can just imagine what life used to be. Now at the back of that we have another miniature railway. Again, I've come to this place and it's shut, but it is rather delightful and...
A little bit out of yesteryear. These sort of ornate arcades. This is Slater's, established 1890. Down we go on this elaborate awning.
I mean, going through all this, it's very hard to find anything particularly negative about Sheffield, so maybe next time I do this YouTube series on top Tasmanian towns, it will improve from its position. But at the moment, it's Sheffield at number 14. Back east we go now. We go to number 13, St Mary's. It is actually not on the east coast. It's about 10 kilometres from the coast. St Mary's, a good bus service every day from Launceston. There's a second bus service on school days. You can also get from Coles Bay to St Mary's. And you can also get from Hobart to St Mary's, but as previously mentioned, when travelling to St Helens, you have to change buses at Epping Forest. You can also get the bus from St Helens to St Mary's. So St Mary's, lots of options there from a transport sense. Now, it is a place which is quite small. About 700 people live in St Mary's. It's about 130 kilometres from Launceston. A real little gem of a place is how people describe it, a lovely mixture of things. It's great to walk around and the people are super friendly. I've got to really say they're really great. You're made very welcome, especially if you have a drink at the St Mary's Hotel. Or country town pub. Nice
amazing balconies. Outside area.
Now, if you go against my advice and want to drive to St Mary's, particularly from the east coast, there are two very difficult roads there. Elephant Pass Road from Bicheno direction and the Esk Highway from St Helens. The other bit I really like is its wonderful former railway station. This is as far as the trains used to get, and there's a wonderful museum at the site of the old railway station. Lots of history. That's town number 13, St Mary's. Now let's go south for a change. Yes, we're in the Huon Valley, and it's number 12, Franklin, situated south of Hobart on the marvellous Huon River. For bus services, there's a 2-hourly service between Hobart and Franklin 4 times a day on weekends. You can also get the bus from Geeston to Franklin. In fact, all services go through to Geeston from Franklin. So Franklin, a town of 500 people, 45 kilometres from Hobart, and you can see how beautiful that Huon River is in the background. It's a very English feeling little village, a maritime village, beautiful hills in the background, and it's a home of the Wooden Boat Museum. It's really good. And there you see a relic of an old ferry, the Cartilla, and I really enjoy walking along the foreshore. You can really look at the river, look at the different seasons and things on the river. I never get sick of Franklin. There's lots of eating places there as well, plus obviously the historic building. There is actually Frank's Cider House. Now, it does have a few problems. It perhaps lacks a little bit of shopping other than the eateries. And there's, for example, there's no supermarket. Also, there's a lot of traffic through with lots of heavy vehicle movements.
Towns. And now I should be able to get a good view of the Palais. Yay, the Palais Theatre. It's awesome. It's shut up at the moment, so I can't go inside. But it's worth a visit. And we've got these great markets here once a month.
Overall, Franklin is totally charming. Number 12. The maritime theme now continues. We go to the north of the state and we're up to number 11. It's Bridport. On the Bass Strait, it's northeast of Launceston. Services run there on a twice-a-day basis, and you also can get the bus from Scottsdale to Bridport. Bridport is 77 kilometres from Launceston, population 1,700 people. We love visiting Bridport. It's got such lovely water vistas. It's got lots of things like canals and the beach, and you can walk around and it's really nice. It's close to a lot of other fun things like wineries, but we quite like the quirky shops and the sort of maritime seaside feel of it all. There's a nice big lots of coastal parks. You can get sand in your shoes. The port itself is functional fishing, and you can get the ferry to Flinders Island on the high tide. It's got a series of pubs there, and they're all really well positioned. Other dining as well. I guess the only thing we find with Bridport is sometimes the accommodation can be a little bit on the expensive side, and the shops maybe a little bit limited compared to some other places. But my crikeys, just for the views and all that, Bridport is a real treasure, and it's Bridport number 11. And that wraps up our first part of Tasmania's top 20 towns. Check out the next part where we count down from town number 10 to top Tasmanian town number 1. Leaving you now with a recap of top Tasmanian towns number 20 to 11. I thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and please consider liking and subscribing to Tasmanian Bus Journeys for more information about Tasmanian towns and associated bus journeys.